Hey, what is up YouTube? Angry Eradicate here. Today we have a special video. We don't usually upload on Saturday, but here we are. August other metagame of the month is 2v2s. Basically a better 1v1 system that's a little less cancerous because you get rid of stuff like the fear strats you just have to check for, but now you have a lot more options with setup sweepers and kind of like more support options. You have a lot of support options with terrain, weather, makes it a little more fun, like a little bit more, a lot more Pokemon are viable. I'll be going over two teams today, a rain-based team with Kingdra, and then a sun-based team with regular Venusaur and Charizard Y. I'll make another video. I have a lot of other options I want to run. I want to do like a video. I want to do a team on. I'm talking a little fast here. I'll try to slow it down. I want to do a team on electric terrain with like Tapu Koko and Alolan Raichu. Those teams seem like a lot of fun. So I want to mess around with that a little bit too. I'll probably do like 2 or 3 videos on this metagame. It's a lot of fun. You guys should try it out. It's kind of like a low skill ceiling too. Like you can jump up with it. Like this team's, I don't think it's like, it's a pretty good team, but it can't counter a lot of stuff. It's kind of gimmicky. You can run those gimmicky sets and still get away with like at least half win rate. A lot of the time there's like predictions you can make, and it's kind of luck based too. So it's not like you're not gonna fight some guy who's like 1800 rating like you would in OU, and like you're just automatically gonna lose. There's always a chance you can win a fight. So for this team here, it's based. I'll do this a little bit differently. Like usually, I go over like each Pokemon individually. I'm gonna go over more the whole team-based aspect here. So Choice Specs, Swift Swim, Kingdra here. You're almost always gonna pick this. I haven't had a fight where I haven't picked Kingdra. I think I did about 15 fights with this team. Special Attack Nature, because with Swift Swim, you're gonna be hitting really fast. You'll be hitting over 500 speeds. You're not gonna be needing. You're not going to be needing the Speed Nature there. It's just going to help you do more damage. Draco Meteor, Hydro Pump. Instead of Scald, I'd probably run Ice Beam, but it is nice to have a guaranteed hit move if you need that. You can still get a KO with Scald. And then Politoed's its usual partner in Prime. I use it about 80% of the time, that combo. Then I use about Greninja and Kingdra about like 10-15%, and then Landorus with anything the last 5%. Politoed's a kind of a weird support set. Rain Dance, just in case they have like a weather sweater, like weather setter, like Charizard Y has to Mega Evolve and then activate the weather, or Tyranitar. Or like other things like Torkoal, since they are slower, their weather will go up second. You can set it back up with Rain Dance. But it has Rain Dance, Rest, Hydro Pump, and Encore. Encore are pretty obvious. A lot of things would go for Sword Stance and Fake Outs. I get that one of the fights. I think you'll see that. Rest is super helpful. Keep this thing alive, because sometimes the battles will take a while. People protect a lot. You want to set Rain Dance back up after the 5 turns of Drizzle are gone. I run Special Defense Investment on this to kind of keep it alive. And then we have Greninja here. Map Lock, obviously super helpful. Against like not even fake out users, but stuff you want to like pressure turn 1, gives Kingdra a free chance to nuke something, and then you can Rain Dance turn 2. Rain Dance is also an option turn 1 because it helps get Kingdra boosted up. It obviously won't take effect until the next turn, but it's like a second best option over Politoed. I want to run Pelipper. Pelipper might have actually worked better than Greninja because I feel like Map Lock, there's a lot of things that are going for priority moves, and Greninja isn't as fast as it used to be, like compared to the metagame, and the fact that there's Choice Scarf users, so you kind of have to be careful with Map Lock. It's kind of gimmicky, but it is a solid team. And instead of Scald, I'd probably go with Ice Beam, especially if Kingdra didn't have it. If not, Dark Pulse. Alright, then Landorus Therian, kind of just like an countering what this team loses against. It doesn't really flow with the team, as you can kind of imagine here. Choice Scarf, Intimidate, my usual set here. I'm plus Outrage instead of U-Turn, because you can't use U-Turn. And if you don't want to run Outrage, you can probably run something like a special move to get a certain check. If you want like a fire type move, probably against like Ferrothorn, so maybe like, does he get Fire Fang? Hidden Power Fire. You can run Hidden Power Fire, so it's not that helpful because like stuff like Scizor is not that common in it. But yeah, this team is basically lead with Politoed and Kingdra. Kingdra checks whatever's the most important. Politoed sees if it can Encore something like a Sword Stance user. If not, goes for a Hydro Pump, or Rest if it needs to against another weather team, and then Rest when needed. And Kingdra just kind of nukes down their team. And then Greninja comes in, Map Locks turn 1, or Rain Dances and helps Kingdra. I don't think I've ever used Landorus Therian, maybe like once or twice, like I said, 5% of the time. But it's a good team. Let's go check out some battles for it. Alright, so for these fights here, a lot of the analysis for these fights will be before the fight begins, because most of the fights are only a few turns. So our first fight against Tisyaki YouTube, or just YT, but it's obviously for YouTube. Mega Lucario, Greninja, Charizard Y, and Mega T-Tar. When you see something like this, you have 2 weather setters. I was like, oh, I might not want to lead with Kingdra and Politoed. But the thing is, against the things that can Mega Evolve, you can Rain Dance the turn afterwards, and I'm usually not too worried about it. I think he actually ends up leading with Greninja and Lucario, I do believe he does. But even with that matchup, Greninja's going to probably go for a Map Lock turn 1, and Lucario might try to set up. I don't think they actually go for that though, but I predicted that that's what they would go for, and I do lead with Greninja and Kingdra here, because I felt my Greninja had a decent chance against the Lucario and Map Lock for it. Actually, I think I Rain Dance, yeah. Rain Dance here. I'm going to slow this down a little bit. He goes with the Hydro Vortex since Kingdra does not like do any much damage. I guess he was kind of relying on having a better matchup against like Landorus Therian there. But Hydro Pump obviously takes out Lucario. We're now boosted up in the the rain, and we take him down to 9%. Pretty sure he takes out my Greninja here. No, he actually misses and then gets a crit on my Kingdra. So we kind of won that fight from the start. Once you take out the Mega Lucario, I don't know why his Greninja had a Water EMZ move. It was kind of a weird thing to see. I thought maybe go for Map Block. Maybe I kind of tried to out-predict it. There's a lot of like predictions you have to go for in these fights, but it was kind of a weird setup. I had to try to go with two frail things that are both weak to fighting, which is kind of common like with Mach Punch and whatnot, and stuff like Mega Lopunny. But as you can see here, I kind of got the Rain Dance up. I was able to beat his Lucario turn 1, and then once it's a 2v1, this team can win, especially with Kingdra in the rain. It's super strong. Alright, for our second fight here against Isis, I don't really know. But he has a Mega Audino, Primarina, Alolan Raichu, and Klefki. So I'm thinking about something like this. His Alolan Raichu doesn't have the support, besides maybe with the Prankster, maybe who try to Thunder Wave it over and over again. Actually, I don't think it has Surge Surfer, and I don't think Klefki can set up electric terrain. So it's kind of weird to see that. Maybe he thought to use it against other teams with Tapu Koko, but it's not that common to really do that. But his kind of obvious lead was going to be Primarina and Mega Audino. And when he SD die, I go with Greninja and Landorstarian because it's going to be able to go for that. He actually goes with the Audino, not the Primarina, so I was kind of surprised by that. He Mega Evolves turn 1, he Ice Earthquake, which kind of sucks. My Greninja almost dies now. But I go for the Map Block, which happens afterwards, which kind of sucks. It does protect Greninja for at least another turn. He gets a Calm Mind off on Audino, that's okay. We go to the Thunder Wave against Greninja, gets him paralyzed. I Earthquake again, takes out his Klefki, gets his Audino down pretty far, and does get a nice crit there. And he gets a crit against me, but it doesn't end up mattering. I would have killed him next turn, and then he forfeits because let's say that 2 seconds that could have just happened from me finishing the turn out. But again, the Landorstarian was a nice matchup there. It was super effective against a lot of his team and had a decent matchup against Audino. Obviously, we both critted each other, so it about evens out. And Greninja was able to not only do that much that fight, so he kind of sucked, but Landorstarian was able to carry the team. Let's go to the next fight. Alright, Ray Maybray. He has a Mimikyu, maybe Mega Sceptile, maybe regular, I'm not sure. I think he chooses Sceptile though. Charizard Y and Dragouch. When you see something like this, I kind of figured Mimikyu and then one of the Sceptile or Charizard Y. Dragouch doesn't have a good matchup against most of my team, so you definitely wouldn't choose that. I'm thinking either Politoed Kingdra or Greninja Kingdra. I'm pretty sure I go Politoed, yeah, Kingdra. And because it gets me immediate with the rain, I can Rain Dance turn 2 in case he Mega Evolves, which he does here. And I drink me the Sceptile and take it out right away though. And he goes for the Sky Drop though, which was kind of a weird choice. I guess he's trying to give Sceptile a chance to get for some damage. We do just Hydro Pump him down though then. He had a really gimmicky team, wasn't going to work out. Even if it was Solar Beam, even if it hit Politoed and killed it, Kingdra turn 2 could have went for the Solar, 2 Draco Meters would have killed it, and he couldn't really kill me from 74 unless he had Dragon Pulse. So, and Dragon Pulse is like less seen than like Air Slash. You don't have to worry about it too much, and probably would have ended up winning that fight unless he had Dragon Pulse, which isn't that common. Alright, for our next fight here against Tyler the Creator. Wow, what a cool guy. The Creator using the, go figure, the Redskin. I hate those people. But Alakazam, probably Mega. That's what you would assume at least. Mega Scizor, you see like all these things are possible Megas, so when you see something like this, Mega Blaziken, I feel like it's a little overrated, so I probably wouldn't fear using that. And besides, my setup's obviously really good against it, even if it gets a speed boost. After the turn 1, the Swift Swim Kingdra will outspeed it after +1, not after +2 though. Garchomp, obviously Kingdra beats that as well. Scizor can be kind of annoying. My team doesn't really have a good option against Scizor. I probably should run Fire Fang or Hidden Power Fire on Landorstarian. Probably beat out Outrage at least. And Mega Alakazam, I'm not too worried about that within my things. Again, if you had Dark Pulse and Greninja, it'd be a little bit better. But he ends up leading with Garchomp and Alakazam. Alakazam might go for some kind of tricky thing with a Trick, or it's a Mega, so it also gets Swift Swim, which is kind of scary. Almost takes out my Kingdra with a crit. We do Draco Meteor the Garchomp. That crit obviously doesn't matter. Take it out. My special attack is dropped now, though. I go for the Encore to force him. I thought he would go for like a Trick or something, or like a Encore himself. Now it's up to a duel here. I Hydro Pump him. He Psychic's me is about 32%, and I do believe I just missed twice here and lose the match, which kind of sucks. But yeah, and of course he gets a special defense drop, which would have given me another turn to attack, and he goes for another Psychic and finishes me off. We would have won that one like 97 times out of 100, but you know, it happens. And of course, this guy of all people has to beat me, but you know, that's just my luck. For the last fight here against Rhydon Philippe, Zygarde, Stupid Amoonguss, Lopunny, and Tapu Koko. Megalopunny's super annoying, and so is Amoonguss, so you're almost going to guaranteedly be seeing one of those two, and they work pretty well together with the fact that they can rage. Can use the Rage Powder after turn 1 when Megalopunny after gets a Fake Out for free, and you can Spore someone turn 1. Super annoying team to fight. Tapu Koko and Zygarde, I didn't think they were going to come out. He actually goes to Amoonguss and Lopunny like I kind of predicted, and we get the free Drizzle off here. He Mega Evolves and obviously goes for the Fake Out against Kingdra. Pretty obvious to see that there. I do Encore that though, that helps us a lot. Now his Lopunny's kind of crippled. The Spore our Kingdra though, so that's annoying. He has to keep faking out, but we end up just missing Hydro Pump, so it's like, that kind of sucks anyway. His Amoonguss does a good bit of damage with that. He tries with the Giga Drain, but I'm able to tank it out. I can obviously rest stall for at least a little bit. I can the 2 rest off before it really kills me. And he ends up going for the Fake Out again. His Encore doesn't end in time. I do Draco Meteor the Amoonguss. It's about, it's down about 23%. He does have Citrus Berry though, and he's been Giga Draining, so he's gonna be able to stay alive for a little bit longer. However, I do rest on Politoed to pretty much keep the game alive. I probably should let it die off, so then 2 Draco Meteors would have killed. I made a little bit more of a risk for the fact when I went for that. And do that with the Chesto Berry, because now he's going to heal more. If I didn't do that, he would not have healed enough to tank this Draco Meteor, because this Draco Meteor comes in this 26%. He definitely gained at least 5% because of the fact that it would not have drained as much from Politoed. Then I was able to tank for an extra turn. It really doesn't matter in the long run. We finished him off with the Draco Meteors at only 0.25 special attack. Well, that's the first team we have here. Let's go check out a Sun team I made. It's Charizard Y, not Mega Venusaur, regular Venusaur, Torkoal, and Arcanine. I think it's a little bit better than this team, a little less gimmicky. Let's go check it out. Alright, for my second team here, we have a Sun-based team, like I said, Charizard Y, Venusaur with Life Orb, Torkoal, Fire EMZ, you'll like that set, and Choice Banded Arcanine. Charizard Y here and Venusaur, you're almost always, actually I think I use Torkoal almost as much as Charizard Y, but usually you'll lead with one of the 2 Sunsetters, and Venusaur. Arcanine again kind of plays the role of Landostarian, intimidates to kind of lower down some attacker users, and kind of counters some of the stuff that we lose to on everybody else. Charizard Y here, Fire Blast, Protect, Solar Beam, Air Slash. If you guys watch my doubles for Sun videos, fun in the Sun in doubles videos, you'll know about that. I choose Solar Power in case you lead with Torkoal, it can help a little bit, but you're almost never going to have that happen. Venusaur here, again, pretty typical stuff for 2v2 teams. Solar Beam, Sludge Bomb, Protect, and Sleep Powder. Sleep Powder can come up pretty big as long as you're hitting. When you're missing, it's the worst thing in the world. Obviously, you're picking Chlorophyll, and that lets you pick a special attack nature, because now your speed will still, again, be over 500. Kind of like the thing, I think it's the same base speed as Kingdra, yeah, 80. Torkoal here is kind of a wild card factor as well as Arcanine. Arcanine's actually a little bit more like standard, but Torkoal can also help set up with Venusaur. Fire EMZ, Overheat, hits like a monster truck, even though you're only base, 85 special attack. Hidden Power Ground for stuff like Heatran and other things that are 4 times weak to ground. Protect and Will-O-Wisp. Will-O-Wisp can help a lot, burn stuff down and kind of stall it out with Protect. Instead of Hidden Power Ground or Protect, you can run Rest Stall with Sleep Talk and Will-O-Wisp, Sleep Talk and Rest. And then last but certainly not least, actually kind of is least, Arcanine. I almost never choose this thing, but it is pretty nice. It's bulky and it hits like a truck. Flare Blitz, Wild Charge, Extreme Speed, and Close Combat. It's base 110 attack. It's not amazing, but it gets the job done. If you have it with another Sunsetter, Flare Blitz has the Sun boosted power as well. It's going to like almost one-hit KO anything that doesn't resist it. Alright, so this team, I think it's a little bit better than the Rain team, honestly, because it's more reliable. I thought the Rain team is more gimmicky and kind of like relies on you getting a good matchup. This team can adapt a little bit more with the fact that it has 2 different Sun options, and then Mega Venusaur just absolutely plows regardless. Even if it's on the Sun, it still can get a lot of damage off. It's relatively bulky, kind of like Kingdra, but I just feel like it worked a little bit better. Let's go check out some fights for it. Alright, for this first fight here with against Mayberry again, there's only so many people on. There's not that many people playing this. You'll see a lot of the same teams over and over again. There's a good bit, there's like 10 or 15 different people playing online at a time, but sometimes you fight the same guy over and over again. Again, you've seen this team before. When I'm seeing a team like this against mine, I'm going to definitely leave with Charizard and maybe Venusaur still, because even though the Charizard Y or Charizard X there might come out, not too worried about it. Go with Torkoal, Venusaur actually though. Torkoal to go for the Z move in case he went that's like Mimikyu. I do put it to sleep, which is super helpful, making us use Dragouge so they can attack. Does under half with Venusaur, however, after I Life Orb obviously would take me on another hit. I go for the Protect here, keep him alive for a little bit to give Torkoal a free chance to do some damage. And I Hidden Power the Mimikyu. I'm going to break his disguise so I can use the Fire EMZ on it. And he breaks the disguise. I actually Sludge Vomit. I might not go for the Fire EMZ here. I think I might go for against Dragouge actually. Yeah, he dives and then Dive of all things. There's like no way he should have been able to predict that, but he does. That's a good play on his part. Doesn't even protect, so it doesn't at least get the 25% damage off. We do finish off his Mimikyu though before it wakes up. Super good for us, and we're in a pretty good spot here. I protect obviously to keep him alive. Not that it would do that much to Torkoal anyway, but trying to keep him alive as long as possible, because after that Scald, and I think this fight's actually a lot closer than it looks right now, simply because he can finish off Venusaur at this point, and I only do 19% chip with Venusaur there. He does finish off my Venusaur. However, now it's on the Torkoal to try to finish him off. I go for the hidden power, takes him about 36%, and 30%. Okay, as long as we don't get critted here, I can win after this turn, and that's what ends up happening. I think I tank on 2%. Yeah, 2%. So I'm not sure if that was a high roll, low roll, based on the last one or not, because the first one was in the sun, so obviously it was going to do less damage. So I think he might have actually low rolled that, or maybe it was a high roll. I don't know, but regardless, we beat him there. This team barely, even though he had a pretty good matchup, in the fact that we couldn't do much to drag out, and it had kind of like a gimmicky thing. All right, for our next fight here against Pushing in the Pin. Sounds painful. Tapu Koko, Whimsicott, Pelipper, and Beartic. Kind of a weird team with some multiple like weather things, with Beartic wanting the Slush Rush and Pelipper having Rain, and Tapu Koko's Weather Terrain. Oh, sorry, I should have talked about this. Venusaur Torkoal is actually I use more than Charizard Y, and then Tapu Koko and Whimsicott come out here. Kind of surprised, not too surprised, because the other two things don't go that well together. We do finish off his Tapu Koko right away though. He finishes off my Venusaur, and we can just use it for the Z Infinite Overdrive and take him out one hit. Next one I could have obviously just overheated, as long as that hit, we would have won anyway. We have one more fight for this team. I don't know, some of them didn't save for some reason, but you get a pretty good idea of what this team's able to do. And then here it is against Remps. Let me switch the sides real quick. He had a really interesting team with the Minior here. He also has a Tangela, Swadloon of all things, so probably Eviolite, and then a Comfey. Those things are just generally pretty annoying. These with the Minior and a Comfey, kind of obvious, wanted to support that. I guess his other Pokemon had different support options. Tangela was kind of weird. I think this guy was just trying to, I checked his like rating, he had like a pretty decent rating, so I guess he was trying super hard with his team. He Earthquakes there and gets a little bit of damage against Torkoal, you know, it's free damage I guess. And I just overheat the Lelia, and that crit probably didn't matter, it killed anyway, but then I Solar Beam the Minior, gets down to 1% HP. Not even Focus Sash, just 1% HP. He Shell Smashes, I make a bad play here, thinking, I actually thought I was going to lose this at first, but it turns out to be okay. I Will-O-Wisp, but since its shields are down, doesn't affect it. Now its shields go up like right afterwards. I'm like, are you kidding me? Then he forces without running out of time. Earthquake probably wouldn't have killed both my things since Venusaur resists it. I could have just obviously hit with Solar Beam then, but it would have been faster than Venusaur, and Torkoal probably would have gotten killed by, actually I'm not sure if it would have gotten killed by Earthquake or not, I really don't know, but that's that team for you guys. A lot of the fights were closer than I probably should. I thought this team was better, but like looking back at some of the fights, it was a lot closer, but I felt more comfortable with this team like winning. I don't know. Let me know if you guys have any teams for me to try out. I'd love to try out like your guys' team, so post them down below, and I'll try to win with them and let you guys know how I did with them. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. As always, can you hit us with a sub? We got a lot more content for you guys to watch, but we'll see you guys in the next video.